easier to operate, far easier to fit.
Not really, I think it's virtually bulletproof.
They've evolved quite dramatically. You know, they are now a leading supplier.
They're always proactive in looking at innovative solutions for us to practical problems.
It's a tremendous product, but it's just going to have such a lasting legacy.
The word Atlas and Berries, we feel, work hand in hand.
Pretty much everything for the forecourt can be bought from Berries.
Year 2000, Martin Berry, whilst having a bath, decided his mind was worrying about leaks. Why he was worrying about a leak in his bath, I got no idea. And suddenly came up with the idea of having an internal box on a tank lid, something that had never happened before. Petroleum officers at the time were concerned about water ingress into tanks off the lid, and came up with this idea of going steel, which was quite unique because the industry had moved from steel to the latest plastics, and thus the Atlas was born. We
specialise in hybrid vapour recovery stage 2 systems to convert vapour back into liquid. What you've got to take into account now, the new fuels, the biggest enemy is water. Because the new fuels actually breathe water, you know, they actually absorb it, and in the end it ceases to absorb, and then once it does that, the fuel is useless. So you think if you're going to lose 10,000 litres of fuel, water becomes a paramount issue.
When you have any water in a petroleum tank, there's always the risk of the water travelling through the lines and then ending up in the customers' vehicles. So the idea was having a secondary contained unit on top of the tank lid would keep the tank lid modules safe and dry from any water ingress and prevent any problems on site. Yeah, the Mono was sort of a natural progression from the original Atlas. The original Atlas was a fairly small container, but it was a sealed chamber within a larger chamber, and extremely popular product as it still is. But what we did find is that we could get away with having a secondary chamber and make one larger chamber. This would obviously give us a little bit more flexibility in terms of install and maintenance, and also with the introduction of pressurized pumping systems into the UK market, it gave us a little bit more working room.
My role this last 15 years has been to create and develop Durapipe fuel systems and create innovative solutions to applications within service stations and other industrial fuel systems products. Now, Berries and Durapipe have challenged the traditional concepts in how systems are installed on service stations. And the Mono is challenging that today, and I think it's just going to have, it's a tremendous product, but it's just going to have such a lasting legacy for the integrity and environmental protection of forecourts today and in the future. It's just a fabulous product, and Durapipe are really pleased to be involved with it.
The Mono itself is 1300 millimeters square. It has multiple pipe entry, gauge and electrical entry positions. It has our modular tank lid fittings on the actual tank lid. The unit's built in-house. It's then welded onto the tank. It's then coated with the tank in the same endoprene, the same protective coating that the tank would have, thereby giving it the same life expectancy as you would find from a normal tank.
What happens is we have a drawing of the site, which determines how many tanks they're putting in the ground, which then determines how many islands and consequently the pipework. We do a pipework layout, push it through to the installer or the contractor, and basically it's a very simple system that works very well with the products that we sell. But we work very closely with contractors, installers, and most importantly, the tank manufacturers, the likes of WEFCO and Cookson and Zinn, who I think find that we're a benefit to them. They certainly are to us. So it's a close-knit team within the industry.
When we fit the Atlas Mono box, we have control over the product. The tanks arrive on site in a more complete state, ready for use.
Installation of the Mono is actually a lot easier for the chaps now because the unit itself gets welded on at the tank manufacturers. By the time it arrives on site, the majority of the work's done for the pipe fitters. Basically what they need to do is bring the pipe work into the Mono chamber and then fuse on. So it's simplified.
Well, this is one of the best systems I've worked on so far. Got more room in these chambers than other chambers on the market. On these you've got a higher depth, deeper depth to work. On other chambers you've got a shorter depth. You haven't got a lot of room to work in them. I think it's virtually bulletproof.
This is a very easy site compared to with some of them. The benefit of this system is that you don't have to drill the holes. With other systems you have to drill the holes, put the seals in. Here you just push it through, put the Jubilee clip on and you're in. It's so simple. It really is so simple.
Yeah, we welcome problems that people have because it gives us a chance to come up with a new idea. Surprisingly, oil company reps and engineers come to see us to look at products, and while they're here, stand around saying, now if we did this could be useful. We're good listeners, Berries.
We came to have a look at the prototype mono. We made one or two suggestions to Berries, which they were quite happy to look at, and they've gone on and adapted the product. They've taken on board the comments that we made, and I think that's a sign of a good company, and the fact that they're prepared to listen to the people who are doing the things on the ground as well.
A lot of our product ranges have come about from chatting to customers. The Easy Riser came about in particular, chatting to a customer, he had a problem. We've then had a look at that problem, looked at a solution and come up with a particular product just to alleviate those problems.
Now the men have been trained by the Berry staff. They've come up here to site and they've trained our men in the correct procedure of fitting. The system is logical, and any alterations that Berries have to their system, we're immediately advised and the men are trained accordingly, and they have no problem with it.
We researched the market and found Berries to be the best distributor in the marketplace, had the knowledge that was required for the marketplace, and had an excellent history in customer supply and good working relationships.
But I think the new innovations they brought in have actually opened them up as a company. So now they're sort of a jump ahead. You know, they're just not pipe fitters and suppliers. You know, they are a different breed, so to speak, far bigger than I think we ever thought they would be. So this thing has really taken off for them.
This drive to offer solutions to the industry, to make working environments healthier and safe to work in, I think that's what sets us above the rest.
Down to David Berry, the founder of the company, who installed in everybody this looking after the customers is all important. And I think that's been achieved.
Just a little more.